Hello everyone and welcome to Skincare with Hyram. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hyram and I'm passionate about teaching you how to perfect your skincare routine. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you can see my videos every single week. Do you like this new earring I got? It's a key. I actually got it because Nicole did a collaboration with a jewelry company. And it's so cute, I love it so much. So my friend, let's talk about why your cleanser isn't working. I know you're thinking, how the f does he know what my cleanser is doing and what it's not doing? Cleansing your face is one of the most important steps in a skincare routine. I've always said that there's 4 primary steps that you need to have in every single skincare routine: treatment, moisturizing, sunscreen, and cleansing. Cleansing is really important because it helps to get all the dirt and impurities out of your skin and make sure that your skin doesn't run into problems like breakouts, dead skin buildup, dullness, and just making sure that your skin is at its top health. But a lot of times we'll do our research, we're going shopping at the store, we find the perfect cleanser, what everyone says is the best, and then you actually use it and you're like, where's the fanfare? Why am I not seeing the results I'm wanting? And I've seen this problem happen a lot with a bunch of different types of products, which is why I'll actually be doing this video for also moisturizing and treatment and sunscreen. Excuse me. And what I see happens a lot is that someone will buy a cleanser, they'll use it, they're not satisfied with the results, and then they'll just throw it away. But a lot of times you're just using the cleanser wrong. And I have some recommendations on how you can improve your cleansing experience so that you don't have to go out and buy another one. Because that's not good for your wallet, it's not good for the planet, and it's just a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna give you some reasons on why you're using your cleanser wrong and how to fix them. So let's get into it. So there's 5 primary reasons I see that are common when people are using their cleanser wrong. The first one being you're cleansing your face for too long. This is one of the biggest reasons I see why people have a poor experience with their cleanser, because cleansing your skin for too long can lead to a really overstripping experience, compromise the health of your skin's barrier, and lead to things like dryness, sensitivity, and irritation. As I say in a lot of my videos, cleansing can be the most damaging part of your skincare routine and you don't even realize it. And one of the primary contributors to that is cleansing your face for too long. I see a lot of times that people will cleanse their face for over a minute, 2 minutes, even 5 minutes, a long time, and that is totally unnecessary. You only need to cleanse your face for about 30 seconds. You can cleanse your face for up to 60 seconds, but personally, I have found that the best experience for a lot of people is if they just max it out at about 30 seconds. Cleansing your face for 30 to 60 seconds gives the cleanser enough time to properly work, but not be left on your skin for so long that you can see some stripping or irritating side effects. And stripping your moisture barrier is not a thing you want to deal with. This is not the good kind of stripping, people. Nope. When it comes to cleansing, you need to find a good balance of leaving the product on your skin long enough for it to remove all the dirt and impurities out of your skin, but not so long that it begins to remove those essential oils that are necessary in making sure that your skin is healthy. Because remember, a skincare routine is supposed to help the natural cycle of your skin taking care of itself. It's not supposed to totally replace it, and by removing those essential oils from your skin, it can really lead to a lot of damage and sensitivity. Now, the second reason in line with that is that you're using too much of your cleanser. I see this problem happen all the time across all product categories. People just use way too much product on their skin, and I understand the tendency to do this. You want to make sure that you're getting the full experience. But a lot of times when I'm on social media and I'm seeing people apply their skincare routines, I notice that they just use a lot of product. And I can understand for content creators because they're trying to show you like what the product looks like, but in reality for cleansers, a lot of times you only need to use about a blueberry to nickel size amount. You don't need to use a ton that it spreads all over your hand. You just need a small amount that you can work into every area of your face. Using more than you need can actually lead to overly stripping your moisture barrier. Plus it means you have to rebuy the product sooner, which means you have to pay more, and it's worse for the planet. Because the more products you buy throughout your lifetime, the more waste it creates. The third reason, and this may arguably be the most common reason, you're using the wrong cleanser for your skin type. I find this all the time when people tell me that they've had a negative experience with their cleanser and I ask what their skin type is, and I find that they have a really dry skin, yet they're using a cleanser meant for really oily skin. This can totally throw off your skin, give a completely negative experience, and oftentimes from what I've seen, just completely turn off people to cleansing, which is not good. We all need to cleanse our faces. Not only can this affect your cleansing experience, it can affect the rest of your products that you use and just what your skin looks like throughout the day. If you have really oily skin and you're using a cleanser meant for really dry skin, that means you may see a lot of excess sebum on your face throughout the day, and it'll just affect how your moisturizer and your sunscreen will look, and you'll be looking like a grease factory. Not that I would know. I have never experienced that before. Oh man, I've been working out a lot recently and I'm so sore. Everything hurts. Well, everything hurts more than normal. And honestly, you're totally not to blame for this one because it can be difficult to navigate what cleansers are good for your skin type. So it really comes down to finding people who have a similar skin type to you and going off of their recommendations. Typically, if you have dry skin, I would recommend a more cream-based cleanser or gentle cleanser that has a more moisturizing feel. And if you have more oily skin, I recommend a more gel-based cleanser that frosts up a little bit and does a really good job of removing the dirt in your skin. And I have some recommendations based off of personal experience because I do have combination skin. I have an oily T-zone and dry cheeks, so I get to experience it all. There are many times where I've had to use 2 different cleansers. For more oily skin, I have always loved the use of the People Kaling Green Tea Cleanser. This has been a recommendation for so long on my channel just because I love how well it does to remove all the dirt and impurities from your skin. This one does a really good job of removing sunscreen as well, and I tend to find that this one works for me at nighttime. It's a little bit too strong for me to use twice a day because of how powerful it is, but if you're someone who has really, really oily skin, I highly recommend this one. Oh, by the way, all the products that I'm talking about in today's video will be linked in the description box below. If you do want to support me or my channel, feel free to use those links, but no pressure as always whatsoever. Or I also recommend the Inky Salicylic Acid Cleanser if you're wanting a little bit of an exfoliating experience because salicylic acid works to help minimize oil production on the skin, but also get rid of dead skin cells in your pores. This one's a great one that I've recommended for a long time, and especially if you want like a 2-in-1 cleansing experience. If you have more dry skin, I recommend the La Roche-Posay Hydrating Cleanser. This one is always a favorite for me when I'm traveling during the winter months and I notice that my skin is extra dry because it does a good job of cleansing but doesn't strip the moisture barrier. Or I also recommend the Aveeno Calm and Restore Cleanser. This one is a favorite for when I'm struggling with sensitivity, irritation. My skin has been in the sun a lot and I don't want to overly irritate it because it's very gentle but does a good job of cleansing. Even though it doesn't froth up, I'm constantly surprised by how well this does at cleansing the skin. And if you're someone who has dry or sensitive skin, I definitely recommend this one. And then if you have more combination or normal skin, I do recommend my own cleanser, the Selfless by Hyram Centella and Green Tea Cleanser. I really worked hard to make sure that this was as accessible to as many skin types as possible, but it's really cool to see how well it does at removing all the dirt and impurities from extra oily skin while still not overly stripping the moisture barrier, and it has ingredients like centella and green tea to help combat any sensitivity or irritation as well. It just does a really good job of removing everything in the skin without stripping your moisture barrier. And it's been cool to see your guys' feedback on how much you love this product, so thank you for all the positive feedback. I'm so glad you guys love it. The 4th reason is that you're cleansing too frequently. I run into this one all the time, and this is something that I personally struggle with. You should not be cleansing your skin more than twice per day. When you're over cleansing your skin, it can lead to the stripping of the moisture barrier, and realistically, there's just no reason why you should be cleansing your face that often. And even a lot of people who have really dry skin really like cleansing their face once a day rather than twice a day because of how much it can strip the skin. I struggle with this personally because I film a lot of videos and I always want to look refreshed, so it's tempting to cleanse my face more than twice per day. But I know a lot of you guys who are, say, like athletes struggle with this as well because you don't want to leave that sweat on your skin. That can lead to a bunch of problems, and I would just say take every step necessary to only cleanse twice per day, and if you do have to cleanse more than that, use a really gentle cleanser, one that's just going to remove the top layer stuff on your skin but not overly strip your moisture barrier. Wow, I am saying moisture barrier a lot in this video. Can you tell it's important? The 5th reason is that you're not using a pre-cleanse step. Now, if you're someone who wears a lot of makeup, or you have really oily skin, or you reapply your sunscreen, as all of you should be doing, not using a pre-cleanse step can drastically affect your cleansing experience. Using a pre-cleanse step does a great job of removing all the excess oil, sebum, dirt, makeup, and sunscreen on your face before you go in with a water cleanser and wash it all off. A pre-cleanse step does not replace the job of a cleanser, rather it just helps assist in the cleansing process so that you can be sure you're removing everything from your skin. If you're someone who wears makeup specifically, I highly recommend that you use a pre-cleanse step because you really want to make sure that you're properly getting off all the makeup and not just relying on your normal cleanser to do the job. And the great news is that there's a bunch of pre-cleansing products that you can use. My personal favorite is to use a cleansing balm. I love the Then I Met You Living Cleansing Balm. It's like a mango smoothie for the face. It does such a good job of breaking up everything on your face but still really nourishing the skin as well. But that one is a little bit luxury, so if you're looking for something more affordable, I do love the Bad Habit Beauty Acai Cleansing Balm. This one is great as well. Does a great job of nourishing the skin while mixing up all the stuff on your face before you go in with your cleanser. I like cleansing balms the most because I find that they're the easiest to use and the least messy, but there's other options out there as well. You can use a cleansing oil. My personal favorite is the Iunique Calendula Cleansing Balm. This one primarily uses sunflower seed oil, a very high quality ingredient for providing that pre-cleanse oil experience. All for a good price. It's a great product. Or Or you can also use a cleansing water. One of my recent favorites is the Rovectin Clean Cleansing Water. This one's great, as well as the Bioderma Cleansing Water, which has always been a favorite of mine. Cleansing waters typically need a cotton round, so if you are going to use a cotton round, please use a reusable one that you can find on Amazon. I'll have some linked in the description box below. It's just a great way to make sure that you're not creating daily waste. But any of these steps work to make sure that you're breaking up everything on your face before going in with cleansing. That way you can be sure that your pores don't have any leftover makeup, dirt, or sunscreen left in them. And then finally, you're applying your cleanser wrong. I have seen a lot of people, myself included, I used to make this mistake, and sometimes I still do make this mistake, apply their cleanser really, really roughly. For some reason, I feel like I have a tendency to be really rough when I'm applying my cleanser, like I'm fighting battles on my face, and I rub my face so aggressively that it can create sensitivity and irritation without me even realizing it. And I've seen this happen with a lot of people where they're like, why is my skin so red after cleansing? Is something wrong with my cleanser? And I watch them cleanse and I'm like, do you hate yourself? Because they're just going in. You want to be conscious about how you apply your cleanser. And I recommend just having the mindset that you're touching someone else's face. If you think about your own skin like it's someone else's skin, you're going to be a lot more gentle than if you're just rubbing it on your face like you would a shampoo on your hair. Going in slow circles, applying enough pressure but not too much pressure is really important. And I'm just going to add this in because I have to. Using a scrub or some type of harsh exfoliant can make this experience even worse. I don't recommend most scrubs. I never have, and one of the main reasons is because I've seen how people cleanse their face, and oftentimes the action is just so rough that it's creating enough sensitivity. You don't need to add a scrub into that. So just apply it gently, like you're giving someone else a facial, not that type of facial. Get your mind out of the gutter. And just be conscious. And those are all the reasons why you may be using your cleanser wrong. Now, if you're someone who has done all these steps and you're like, Hyram, I'm still not noticing the results that I want, then it just might be that your cleanser is not right for your skin and you're gonna have to find a new one. You can go with the recommendations I made or find someone else who has a similar skin type to you and try out their recommendations, but it's just always a good idea to give the product that you already have a chance in case you might be using it wrong. Because if you're following any of these mistakes, it doesn't matter how many cleansers you're gonna buy, you're gonna have a negative experience with every single one of them. And those are all my tips. Let me know what you think in the description box below. I will be coming out with more videos like this for each step of the skincare routine, so if you have any recommendations or lessons you've learned, please let me know down below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.